The NFL Conference Championship matchups are finally set, and boy do we have some bangers. Let me know down below in the comments who you guys have winning. But before I get into that, let's quickly go over the games from last week, which by the way, if you guys have missed the last two videos, I predicted the entire playoffs, and then I also predicted just the divisional round last week. Go check those out too. First up, we had the Jags versus the Chiefs, and just like I said in the predictions video, this game was going to be a lot closer than people thought it might be. Now, Patrick Mahomes did end up hurting his ankle early on in that game, and that clearly affected his ability to move around in the pocket. Overall, I was really impressed with the Jags. Thought the Chiefs defense was great in the first half, but the Jags kind of settled in the second half, much like they did against the Chargers, and they really had a chance to win this game if Jamal Agnew doesn't fumble inside the 10-yard line in the fourth quarter. I think the Jags are set up really well moving forward. They get Calvin Ridley next season. A lot of people don't really even remember that. Well, all of a sudden you have a three-headed monster of Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones with Travis Etienne out of the backfield, and maybe they can keep Evan Ingram at tight end. It's going to be a scary offense. Maybe draft a couple of additional pieces to the O-line to help protect Trevor a little bit more. And then really from there, just focus on defense. If you can improve that defense even just a little bit from where it's at right now, the Jags are going to be a serious problem. The next game was the Eagles and the Giants, and as much as I wanted the Giants to win that game, they never had a chance, did they? Philadelphia Eagles are damn good, man. They are really good. And the Giants are way ahead of schedule. They weren't even supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be a playoff team. Look at their roster. That roster, no offense, is trash. Genuinely, like the majority of the players on that team would not start for any other team. Brian Daboll did one of the best coaching jobs you'll ever see, and honestly, I feel like it can only go up from here. I mean, they're only going to add better players to this team. They have $1 billion in cap space this offseason. They might have to pay Daniel Jones a decent chunk of change, and there's some rumors that maybe Saquon's going to be out of there because they kind of lowballed him a little bit, which I can understand with the injury concerns, but they're going to have to find a replacement for him, maybe in the draft, Bijan Robinson perhaps, but we'll just see how that goes. Next, we had the Bills and Bengals, and man, I tried to tell y'all, there is not a planet in this universe that I will ever trust Josh Allen over Joe Burrow, ever. I know in my original predictions video, I did pick the Bills. I thought they were going to ride this momentum of the whole DeMar Hamlin tragedy. It was going to be motivation. They have one of the best teams in the league. I thought it was going to be enough. It wasn't. The Cincinnati Bengals are them. Right now, it is the Bengals and the Chiefs and everybody else in the AFC. And the AFC is very strong. But those two teams are in a class of their own, and there's a chance that they're going to be playing in this game a lot of times in the career of Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. To go in there into Buffalo and play the way that they did, and the Bengals offensive line dominates a football game? What am I even looking at? It was complete domination. Shout out to the Bengals. Bills, work to do, man. Josh Allen, since he's been in the league, leads all quarterbacks in turnovers, more than Carson Wentz. Josh Allen is #1. That has got to be fixed. Josh Allen's a stud. He has the most arm talent probably in the entire league, arguably Patrick Mahomes. But as we saw in this game, that doesn't matter. You gotta be a quarterback. Joe Burrow is a quarterback, and he sat in that pocket and just sliced and diced the Bills to pieces, and Josh Allen was unable to. And that's why I don't trust him more than a guy like Joe Burrow. And it's frustrating because the Bills have had such a bad string of luck when it comes to winning a Super Bowl that I actually pull for them. I want them to win. I'm a Saints fan. We used to wear bags on our heads. I pull for teams like this. And so it's frustrating when they just can't get over that hump, and it's frustrating for the players. Look at Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is showing up as quarterback on the sidelines publicly. But obviously losing Brian Daboll was a negative impact on Josh Allen, so maybe they look to change that position on the staff potentially, but they got a lot going on. A lot happened for them this season, and maybe their heads weren't in the right place. Who knows? But they looked terrible. Now we have the 49ers and the Cowboys. Damn Dallas Cowboys, man. I watched the Cowboys this season with their, I'm just like, how are they ever going to get to the Super Bowl, man? If they can't get to the Super Bowl now, how are they ever going to get there? How are they going to get any better than this? They have like a top 5 defense. Their offense was scoring points left and right, but then once the bright lights come on, Dak Prescott leading the league in picks, man. He led the league in interceptions while missing, I think, 3 games or 4 games. He still led the league in picks. That's a problem, and he knows it's a problem. He addressed it after the game that it's a problem. But you're paying him way too much money to lead the NFL in picks and constantly losing the divisional game. God, at least get to the championship game. At least show a sign of improvement. Kellen Moore? Remember when everybody thought Kellen Moore was the next big thing as an offensive coordinator? Hell no. Mike McCarthy, I think, is fine. A lot of people calling for his name. You went 12-5. Like, Mike McCarthy's not out there throwing picks. Dan Quinn's doing an outstanding job on defense. This loss, it literally boils down strictly to Dak Prescott. There is no other excuse in the NFC divisional against the 49ers. Why did the Cowboys lose? Dak. That is it. There is not a single other thing you can put blame on. He needs to figure that out in the offseason and get his shit together. He was looking like he was going to be a unanimous runaway MVP before he broke his ankle a couple years ago. And now we're talking about him like this. I'm starting to feel bad for Cowboys fans, the good ones. There's a lot of bandwagon ones out there that are annoying, but the good fans, the ones that are like, damn man, can we just win a Super Bowl, please? They've had so much talent over the years and they just can't get over the hump, and I feel bad. So here we are, conference championship round. AFC side, we have Bengals and Chiefs, the rematch of last year in Arrowhead. The Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow are 3-0 against the Chiefs, and I'm a little bit worried about the Bengals for that reason. First of all, it's hard for me to imagine beating Mahomes 4 straight times, but also there's some of the Bengals players are getting a little overzealous right now, talking about Kansas City Stadium being called Burrowhead. He won there 1 time. The other 2 games were in Cincinnati. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Don't give the Chiefs bulletin board material, please. But this matchup is so exciting, man. This is looking like it's going to be our new Brady and Manning, where it's like every single year these teams are going to play in the playoffs, and it's going to be freaking awesome. I like the Chiefs a lot. I think this could be the first game in the postseason where maybe the subtraction of Tyreek Hill is really noticeable, because now that bum Eli Apple doesn't have to worry about covering him anymore. And also, I know Patrick Mahomes, we don't know what his health is like. A high ankle sprain sucks, though. I know you can get it shot up and not feel anything, but high ankle sprains suck. If you ever played sports, you know they suck. It's really, really hard to get back to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, especially if you're the Bengals. Like, who would have ever thought that was going to happen? But they're here. I'm a fan. I love Joe Burrow.
You better send those refunds.
I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals to repeat as AFC champions. Who would have thought 5 years ago you'd ever say the Bengals would repeat as AFC champions? Holy smokes. And on the NFC side, oh my God. This is the match that we've all been waiting for and that we all wanted to see in this game. The Eagles and their incredible offense versus the 49ers and their lockdown defense. They played a pretty good offense last week in Dallas and they shut that down. Eagles are a little bit better. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders. They have a really solid offensive line. Then you got the 49ers, and Brock Purdy looks like he can't be shaken up. However, he got to go on the road this time, boys. Brock Purdy got to go on the road in a playoff game against a good defense and a very good team in a incredibly nasty environment if you're the road team. Like, nobody wants to play in Philadelphia in the playoffs if you're the road team. 49ers are such a loaded team, and realistically in my brain it's telling me that the 49ers are going to win this game just because they are just too good in all facets of the game. But for me, in this video, I have trashed the Eagles long enough. I don't know if I believe in Brock Purdy on the road in Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game, and for that reason, I am picking the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to get Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. That's my picks. Y'all, like I said, let me know your picks down below in the comment section. Also, like 97% of you guys are not subscribed. Are we serious right now? Click the subscribe button while you're here. If you guys want to see the divisional round predictions, you can click that here. The entire playoff predictions, you can click that here. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.